Part 2 on how to create enemy spawn in game design. In this video, we will learn how to automatically spawn enemy every time a player press a key in a keyboard. To do this, we need to code an if statement. For example, if the player press left arrow key down, then create enemy spawn. If he's not pressing left arrow key down, then there's no enemies to be generated. So let's code for this if statement inside Visual Studio. So we are now inside Visual Studio and we're going to create the if statement. So we'll need to go to void update and create our if statement there. So we'll all know how to create an if statement. We type if and then open and then close parenthesis followed by the curly brackets. So now we'll just put the curly brackets down and place it nicely here. Excuse me. So here on the open and close parenthesis, we'll type something true to our statement. So we need to get a key code here. So I'll gonna be using input that get key down, and then what we need is to tell which key that the player needs to press to create the spawn. So we'll have to create a open and close parenthesis again here. And then let's type a key code. And that will be, I think I would like to use the left arrow key here. So that left arrow. So every time the player press down the left arrow key, this condition should be, we put the conditions here. So, um, hmm, so we would like to spawn the prefabs of the ship. So we'll create an instantiate, and then we'll call the ship prefabs. Ship prefabs, and then the array number of the ship. So we'll take the ship number 1, so we'll put it at 0 because its element number is 0. I'll explain that to you later. On our array, when we put the game object, there will be the numbers on the side. So if we choose number 1, then that particular game object will be the one going to be replicated or instantiated. So here we're going to be using 0, and then from here we'll comma, and then we want that to have a new vector position. So we'll create new vector 3 position, and then open and close parenthesis. Now we enter the position for the x will be 0, y will be 0, and z, since our I think our top bound range is 30, so we'll put like 20 here. And then there's a problem with the code. Uh, yeah, S. And then the array is 0 for now. We can change it then later. And then we'll put the transform that rotation. And then let's just close this syntax with a semicolon. I have wrong spelling on rotation. So now let's double check. We don't have any red errors here. So let's just save this and check on Unity if it's working. So let's just check inside Unity and go to game mode. We can see that every time we are pressing the left arrow key, an instance of that ship index is being replicated. So we can see spawning effect. So we are inside Visual Studio and we are looking on our script and we can think of some ways on how we can improve it. We can see that we have several zeros here, which is a hard-coded number, and we can actually make a variable for this one. So we'll create a public as for now, public, and then we need to use an integer because we need to create a whole number. We cannot have like 1.5 for the array. So if we need to have array number one, we have to have array number one, zero, two, or five. So here we will create a variable public integer, and let's just call it as ship index. Because the value is zero, we don't need to assign any value, so we just need to close this syntax with a semicolon. So now what we're gonna do is we'll just copy the shape index, Control C, and replace it on the zeros here. So now our code looks better. And if we go to Unity, we have now a variable where we can actually just enter different numbers for the arrays and it will spawn. So let's check it out. So we are now inside Unity and we can see on our spawn manager, we do have the ship prefabs here and also the ship index. So ship number one is zero, and element one is ship number two, element two is ship number five, and here is ship index. So in the ship index, we can change it to like, for example, if you go to zero and you play the game and let's wait for a while. Okay, so every time I press the left arrow key, the ship number two is being called on. So if I wanted to have like, for example, ship number five to be the one being called, then I will just put number two here. So then let's press the game mode. So now we're going to game mode. So every time I press the left arrow key, the ship number five will be the one spawning. So that's it. So it's working. So guys, in our next video, I will show you how to be able to spawn ships in different location because as you can see here, they're just spawning in the same location. And also, only ship number one is being spawned. So I would like to have a variety of ships that's gonna be spawning. So on next video, we're gonna talk about random and range and how to randomly um, spawn the ships in different locations and also all the ships that we had created in our ship prefabs should spawn. That will make the game more exciting and more unpredictable. Okay, guys, so stay tuned on my next video and cheers. Have a nice day. Hey, do.